in my opinion, one of the, if not the finest trainers in the company. And you're gonna, and I mean that seriously. No, I don't understand. I really do mean it. I think you'll understand why when she's done. So, Lisa Winkler.
Can take one. Jim and I just print them out. We changed them a little bit for your area so that you would have one with some popular websites. But yeah, Jim mentioned obviously my background was in nursing, so I was always intrigued by nutrition, obviously health. I worked in critical care where there was a lot of situations where people were at the end of their life, and when you're at the end of your life, they want more time and they wish they would have taken better care of themselves. And unfortunately, you don't get that time back. So you have to take care of yourself now while you have the chance. And so that really intrigued me. I became a product user, like Jim said, after I had my last baby. She's going to turn 17 next month. And I was looking for more energy because I work night shifts. Any night shift workers, you're always tired, you don't sleep, you eat poorly, and you're always under a lot of stress. And so I gained weight and things like that. And so I took a weight loss product, I took an OPC, B-complex, and got a lot of energy, lost about 20 pounds. And when you do that, what do people do when they see you? What are you doing different, Lisa? You know, they wanted to know what I was doing, and they didn't want to know all the ingredients. They didn't want to know, is it FDA regulated? They want to know, what are you doing, what are you taking, and how can I get it? And so that's a really big point right there is in order to retail, you have to be a product of the product. You have to be using the products. You have to understand what they are. And if you don't take all the products, you need to network with people that do so that you can get your own testimonials about, oh, I met someone last night that really was an allergy sufferer like Jim and was on shots and took Celdane and, you know, could never be in a home with animals. And then he started on this product, you know, because we all know people like that. And I'll kind of point out some of the things. I apologize if my voice starts to go because I've been not taking enough products, right? Just fighting a little bit of a cough. So that's why it's so important. And the other thing, as a distributor, we can all recruit, right? You guys just probably have a lot of success making phone calls.
Let's ask. Did anybody book any appointments? Yeah. Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, booked right away. Anybody get voicemails? A lot of voicemails when you call too, right? So, but that's great. 4, just because we took action right away on there. You'll book more on the call back, so that's great. Really proud of you guys.
Yeah, great job. And especially when you're new and you're excited, you can recruit really easily. I know that was for me, that was a great way. You know, I was excited, I lost weight, I had a good result of the product, and I was very positive that I was going to make this happen. So I have a big belief system because I worked full-time for 15 years, and when I started this business, I said, I'm going to do this. This is going to be my way. I wanted to get out of my job. And I worked really hard on my part-time business. Actually, I worked almost full-time at MarketAmerica, full-time nursing, but I matched my nursing income within a year and was able to quit my job. So they knew I was very serious. But, you know, when you recruit people, what actually keeps them in the business before they're making money? Retailing products. Having customers. You have to have customers. We have a retailing requirement. For those of you that are new, we have to retail $200 to an end consumer other than ourselves every quarter. So $800 a year, $200 per quarter. So you do have to retail some products. This is really, really important. And Jim and I have been in the business, me going on 17 years, him going on 18 years. We have customers that have been around. My customers have been around 14, 15, 16 years. You know why? They love the products. They're consumable. They can only get them from me. And I get to know them. We know our customers. We develop relationships with them. A lot of times they don't even want to go to my website. I'm always like, go to my website. No, I want to talk to you, Lisa, because they like that one-on-one interaction. So retailing is a very, very important part of this business, and you know, you don't want to let it go, and so product knowledge becomes very important. What I handed out is just kind of some popular websites, you know, that you can look at on yourself. Obviously, when you come in with into the business, you get a lot of websites on your own, right? Not just your shop.com portal, but you've got your Modas and your isotonics.com and all those other things, but you want to become a part of the local area too. That's why I put the Facebook page address down there and things like that. So our area uses these quite often as well as do Jim and I. You want to have some tools. You want to have product catalogs. So product catalogs that come in a pack of 5. Anybody have one? I didn't have one just to hold up. They're a smaller brochure. People love to have them. We used those a lot last night. Sissy, who was holding was showing them to everybody. Yeah, like that, a product. You need to have those on hand. Anyway, you want to go to your back office. You want to know where can I find something. So in downloads, under forms, if you go to sales aid, you change the category to sales aids, you can get a whole bunch of different flyers there. Last night we were talking about the person that was hosting the product review, or the HPP, she wanted to put a binder of some of the products she was going to retail. I used to do that all the time, and I used to put them in plastic like this. So this is like one of the flyers you can get off the back. See, here you've got like isotonic flyer, you've got greens flyer, OPC flyer, anything that you want to print off that you're interested in. And I'm going to tell you, you want to start with 10 products or less. We have hundreds of products, but don't talk about all of them. You need to talk about less than 10 if you really want to retail and get good at it. And so, you know, things like this are good, especially the kits, all right? The kits, and that's what I'm going to talk about. So that's where you can find all those flyers and your downloads. You also need to find out what's going on in your area. We just talked about like Lisa Koska coming in for motives. So I went to New York and looked up what's coming on as far as wellness. And you have, I mean, unbelievable, Dr. Stan Pierce coming in twice in the next couple months. He's doing a general product training on 10/27, and then he's doing a general product training on, 12/10. Oh my, he is, in my opinion, the best in the company. Don't you think, Dawn?
Absolutely.
I mean, Dawn and I just recently went to Product Symposium. Twice a year, the company offers a product symposium that we pay for, and we go if we want to become certified in product knowledge and certified product trainers. This was actually the syllabus for the product symposium. It was held in LA in June, and then when was the last one?
It's actually coming up next
Yeah,
weekend.
it's sold
coming up.
out.
It's sold out.
Yeah, it's sold
Sold out, go on.
Yeah, but
Right
if you,
away.
I was going to say, if you've ever been interested in something like that, pay attention to when the next one is, because you may want to go. There was probably 600 people at the one that we were at. It's a 3-day event. You get all the PowerPoint slides after you attend the event, and it's just an excellent way to gain more product knowledge. But Dr. Stan Pierce would be phenomenal. He's actually coming into our neighborhood in November, I believe. So, again, you need to know, where do I get this knowledge? Now, do you guys know where to find these events?
Yeah.
You do. So you go to your back office, go under Help and Training. There's a drop down to NMTSS. And then it's pretty self-explanatory from there. You're going to actually select your area, your country, your city that you're looking for, or state. It's going to drop down and you're going to select what kind of training you're looking for, and there you go. So whenever we talk about products, we want to make sure that we're not saying that anything cures anything, right? The statements have not been evaluated by the FDA and things like that. You don't ever want to say to anybody, this product has cured this, or this product has done this, or this type of disorder. We're just helping people feel better. We're helping their bodies work the way they're supposed to work when you give them the proper nutrition and the proper supplements. We're helping symptoms be relieved, but we're not curing anything, okay? That's really, really important when you're talking about some of these things. But just to kind of give you a background of why do people need a supplement, because I know that you guys are going to go out there and talk about products and people are going to say, I eat right. I don't need anything. My grandma lived till 90 and she smoked and drank and our family's gone. Right? You know? I mean, you hear all kinds of crazy things. And I'm going to tell you, that is absolutely not the case, not the norm, and it's just not right. Okay? Because it's crazy. I mean, in fitness, this is what we spend in billions of dollars, $151 million a year in fitness. Billions. $398 billion just on our appearance. You know, and you think you can have a good-looking outside and you can have a bad-looking inside. Do you know that? You ever hear of those long-distance runners and look phenomenal on the outside, and you hear them dropping dead of a heart attack because they have high homocysteine levels and a ton of inflammation in their body, and they drop dead, but they look great on the outside, and you never think they're fit and look good that way, but not here. And hell, $450 billion is spent on that. Do you think there's a market for supplements? Absolutely. And the state of the nation, life expectancy has increased, but we're living poorer. Our quality of life has definitely decreased. And you know it because obesity is everywhere. We're using more prescription drugs than ever. There's record deaths from heart disease and cancer. I mean, it's pretty crazy out there right now. We have more stress, more work, more processed foods, more foods in a box. Do you understand that? If you guys are eating out of a box, you're not eating healthy. So right away, right away when you go home, you want to look and take stock of what do I have in my cupboards, my cabinets? Is it all things in boxes? Is it cereal? Is it bars? Is it chips? Is it, snacks? What is it? Everything should not be in those types of things. You should be eating as fresh as possible. You should be doing TLS 100% right. You can follow everything. You can eat right. You can exercise like crazy. But if you do not get the proper amounts of sleep, your body will fight itself. It will not let go of that fat. It just won't do it. You've got to sleep properly. I'm always telling Jim, let me go to bed. I got to sleep.
Yeah, that's what it does.
Right? But your body needs that 7.5 to 9 hours of sleep, and it's important for your memory, for learning, for metabolism, for weight, for mood, for heart health and disease prevention. Your body was meant to sleep because all those hormones that repair your body and your anti-aging hormones are all released when you're in that deep REM sleep. And if you can't get into that sleep, your hormones don't get released. You're going to age a lot quicker. In fact, if you don't sleep good, it'll take 10 years off your life. Right? Really? Time to go to sleep. Really bad. Average American only gets home. Everybody's like, I gotta go.
Tonight's not the night you sleep.
So there. Right? So there. Yep, average American gets about 6.5 hours of sleep, nearly 20% less than the average of the 50s. And of course, what didn't they have in the 50s? The internet, a lot of TV shows, cell phones, a lot of distractions. They could go to bed earlier, right? Really, really important. Screen time. So they didn't have this either. That's so important. How many TVs do you have in your home? Most has more TVs than people in their home. Right? Start. We're all counting up. 1, 2, 3. You can't walk in a room without a TV. I mean, now they're even in your bathrooms, right? They're everywhere. Your computer. You have the television on for more than 8 hours a day. That's crazy. Look at this one over here on the left. For every 1 hour of TV watched by children, the risk of attention-related problems increases by 10%. So if a kid he watches 3 hours of television, 30% increase in attention deficit problems.
Whoa.
Have we seen a lot of that in today's society? You bet. How about risk of being overweight increases by 6%? 3 hours of TV, now you're up to 18% for a child to gain weight. Wow. It's crazy, right? Prescription influence, prescription drugs, This is crazy. 1990, $40.3 billion in 1990. Fast forward just 26 years, $497.5 billion spent on prescriptions. Are people getting healthier? No. No. So we need a solution for sure. Most prescribed prescriptions, you guys probably know this: Vicodin for pain, Zopor, high cholesterol, lisinopril for high cholesterol, Synthroid for hypothyroidism, Norvasc for high blood pressure, Prilosec, antacid shouldn't be taken out. We have a great aloe that will help just as well. Zithromax for bacterial infections, amoxicillin infections, metformin for diabetes. Everybody's on that one right now. Hydrochlorothiazide for high blood pressure. You see a pattern here? Yeah, absolutely. And one disease leads into the next disease. Does diabetes lead into heart disease? You bet. And it's a vicious circle. So all these different things. Those are, and what they are, all those things out there, chronic, progressive. Doesn't mean chronic get better. Chronic get worse unless you do something. Again, for eye health and our calcium and vitamin D, both of which we have, and I'm going to talk about calcium, but we also have the vitamin D isotonic supplement That's very good for us as well. So we've got things that help the most common problems out there. And just knowing about them and then being able to talk about them is phenomenal. You know, with age management, traditional medicine, that's what I was in. Okay, traditional medicine focuses on treating the effects of the aging process. Many treats your external symptoms. Somebody comes in sick and you have to treat that, right? That's a lot of times what prescriptions do. But anti-aging supplementation focuses on addressing the causes of aging. What's going on? How can I slow it down? How can I, prevent some of this from going on? It focuses on promoting and maintaining optimal body functions. Let's keep it, if it's working good, let's keep it working good. Let's not leave things to chance, right? Accelerated aging is when you get these unhealthy lifestyle choices. They accelerate the aging process. When you lack whole foods in your diet, really important, lack of fiber. Anything in a box doesn't really have fiber, all right? It's processed, and because things are processed so much, we need to re-enrich them so people eat them, because they don't taste good. They've gone through so much processing. And then chemicals being put in there. Just for fun, just pull a box off your shelf and just read the ingredients. How many ingredients should something have in it if it's in a box? Less than 5. How many do you think it has? 20 minimum, probably. 20 minimum, really. And then sun exposure, bad. Vacations, That's what I always put my hat on. Put my hat on, I don't want any sun on me. Drinking, smoking, stress, lack of exercise, lack of sleep. We all know the drill, right? We have to get really used to it. Signs of aging. Obviously, decreases in muscle mass and sexual desire. But who wants that? Metabolism. What happens when your metabolism slows down? You gain weight, you get tired, you get sluggish, you just don't feel like doing things, right? Aerobic capacity, your lung capacity for oxygenation and things like that. Growth hormone, bone mineral density, HDL, your blood cholesterol goes down, your hearing and vision go down, the lack of deep sleep, increases in body fat, your bad cholesterol, your LDL cholesterol, you don't want that. Increases in blood pressure, that stress hormone called cortisol, increases in cortisol is one of those that when you're under stress, that's another one for losing weight. Big component of losing weight because cortisol holds on to your fat. It doesn't want to let it go. It's like in a tug of war. You want to lose it, it doesn't want to let it go when you're under stress. Okay? And inflammation is huge, and almost every disease process stems from some form of inflammation. And inflammation isn't bad. When you get hurt and you get a swollen ankle or something, that's good. That's telling you you have an injury. Take care of it. Baby it for a little while. The kind of inflammation they're talking about is inflammation long term. Your body's not supposed to have that long term, okay? And over time, inflammation in, like, say, the blood vessels can cause sores in the blood vessels. Little sores that need to be repaired. And what happens is when you have circulating cholesterol itself isn't that bad either. But if there's these sores on the inside of your arteries and the cholesterol goes past the sore, it's like gum. Boop, it sticks to the sore. And then more sticks to that piece, and then more sticks to that piece. And pretty soon you have a narrowing of that artery, and the pressure to push through it has to expand the artery, and you get more little cracks and sores in the artery. So one of the greatest products we have for keeping the blood running smooth inside the arteries and repairing those little nicks and cracks and sores is our OPC3 product, right here. Okay, this is the and help with that inflammation. So that's really important because inflammation shouldn't be there long term. Okay, supplementation is no longer a luxury. Like years ago, people, even me growing up, it wasn't that big of a deal. Supplementation, but we didn't have a lot of things that we have today. But the real world is really caught up now. We've caught up to our health. We eat more unhealthy foods, and that is we want to be remembered to eat, because a lot of times people skip meals, and the one meal you never want to skip is what? Right. Oh, this is good. Absolutely. You never want to skip. Yeah, Mom was right? You got to fuel that brain, and you got to get that furnace stoked, meaning you got to start burning, right? Our lives are filled with more stress, whether from work, at home, or environment, from what we breathe, everything. So supplementation is really required, and it provides all the vitamins and minerals that are lacking in our diet. Certain things that are really impractical to get from food, like, are you going to really eat 10 cans of sardines to get your omegas? No, yes. Right? I mean, it's serious, so you got to supplement. And it benefits numerous areas, help increase energy, joint comfort, all kinds of different things when you supplement. And Jason Barter. So you always want to just check with your physician if you want to go on a supplementation if you're ill. Okay, if you're well, you know you don't have to do that. But if you're ill, and I'm not saying can I go on something. I'm saying if you have a doctor's visit and you're on maybe prescriptions or something like that, you may want to bring a bottle like this in and say, doctor, could you read the label and see if there's anything in here that could harm you, and things like that. Because typically, physicians, health providers, nurses, we're bombarded by different things that people bring in. You should see that we always ask the family to bring in everything they're taking. So along with, you know, a big giant bag of prescriptions comes in a bigger bag of like supplements that they got at the store, you know, all these kinds of different things, and typically throw them all out because we don't know what's in them, right? So we need to really read a label and do some good research. And our products happen to be phenomenal products. They're pharmaceutical grade. They're very high end. They go through very strict quality control. If we don't like it, we throw it out. If it's not tested properly in our warehouse, it doesn't get past us. Okay, so it's really, really important to know that. And one of the things, you know, everybody here likes a deal, right? Everybody likes to get a deal.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. The only time you should never get a deal is on your supplements. Okay? Because one of the things you're going to run into is people say these are expensive, these are costly. I can get so and so big jumbo bottle down at Walgreens for a good deal. No, they're not getting the deal. They're throwing their money away. Okay, and you need to really know why. I mean, a lot of vitamins are made with coatings, like you talk about, binders, talc, fillers. Things that preservatives that allow them to have a long shelf life. If they can sit on the shelf for a long time, do you think that they can actually break apart? Oh, the second you put it in your stomach. No, they've been sitting there for 5 years, but as soon as I take that, it's going to break apart. And it's going to be then absorbed with all that stomach acid in there as well. It's going to do a good job. So it just doesn't make sense, you know, and it also doesn't make sense that, you know, one product or one vitamin, a multivitamin, for example, let's say a central vitamin, can be great for every one of us. Because every single one of us is different. Every one of us is exposed to different things. And it can't just be that one thing. And Centrum is the most advertised vitamin, so most people are aware of it, but it's not going to give you a good bang for your buck at all. Okay? That's why we have the isotonic line where we have about 20 different vitamins where you can mix and match, you can do a custom cocktail, you can really be sort of the chemist for your own health and for other people, which is really fun. You know, with insurance, a lot of people say, well, these are so expensive, my insurance doesn't cover it. But insurance isn't supposed to cover wellness. Insurance is really supposed to cover, it's designed for sickness, right? When you're sick, you need insurance, not when you're well. So your wellness program has to come out of your pocket. And you've got to be able to afford that. And that, you know, you have to ask people, what is your health, you know, worth to you? What is it worth to you? Because what do people do for their health that's terrible for them every day? Smoke. Smoke? Drink. Eat bad. Fast food. How many Starbucks are in this city?
Pumpkin spice, baby.
Pumpkin latte spice. And did anybody see my Facebook page?
Look at Bishop Jordan. Tell him what's in there.
Pumpkin latte spice has, I don't know, less than 20 bad ingredients in it. It's horrible. Oh, yeah. You'll see, you'll find it. Put it on your computer. It's great. Yeah. Well, put it back in here.
That's not mine, baby.
So, yeah, your health has to come out of your pocket. And then you have to change your mindset to think about, like, out-of-pocket expenses will be supplements, maybe a gym membership, right? You're paying to stay healthy. What about like taking a yoga class or something like that? Buying organic food. That's an out-of-pocket expense for your health. Maybe getting a massage, things like that. So those are not going to be covered by insurance, but you've got to take really accountability for your health that way, okay? What else? What is health? Well, health, physical health, structural health, chemical health, all have to be in a good balance. That's very important. And what is wellness? And wellness really is a lifelong process of moving towards enhancing your physical, intellectual, emotional, social, spiritual, and environmental well-being. Okay, it's really making a decision. It all starts here, right? Did anybody ever want to go on a diet? No. You think about it, you think about it, you think about it until you finally make that decision. Nothing is going to get in your way. You made that decision. It's a lot like this business. When I signed that paperwork, that was it. This was my new career. And everybody I knew was going to know it. Jim left my house. 2 hours later, I called him up. I said, what should I be doing? He goes, what do you mean? What should I be doing? I said, I started a new business, didn't I? He goes, so what should I be doing? He goes, nobody ever asks me that. I said, well, I did, and let's get rolling. Not wait a minute. How about let's get the plan for something? But it's the same thing with your health. You make the decision, and then you go for it, and I guarantee you, you'll get healthy. I mean, I kind of was TLS, right? I was a TLS coach for years, and I would lose weight, and then, gain it back, and finally, and that was it. You made a decision to get healthy, work out more, do more things, and then it's gone. Okay, so that has to be the same way with a wellness program. And this is how I live my life. Okay, I'm always proactive rather than reactive. With your children, you have to be proactive. You have to tell them what you expect, when you expect it, how they're going to do. Because if you don't tell them that, how do they react when then you say, you didn't tell me that was going to happen, right? And everything in life is trying to be proactive. And it's the same with supplementation healthcare. So here we are, nobody knows what to do. You're confused. There's so much out there. So how do you take, everything that's out there, and now you're going to talk to people about what we have available. Well, first of all, you have a great website. But I guarantee you cannot just send somebody to our website and say, buy off my website. How many sales are you going to get from that? None, right? I mean, these products originated in a physician's office because they're so unique and they need to be talked about. They're different. If you saw this product on the shelf of a GNC, you wouldn't even know what it is. What is this? I'd put it down and go for a pill because it's so different. You have to talk about it, and you have to understand it first to be able to talk about it so that you can get a sale or get a good result. I see everyone. Oh my goodness. All right. A little bit about vitamin and mineral absorption. So they rely on a shuttle system, okay, to take them into the small intestine and move them into the bloodstream. And for one thing, there's not that many shuttles that can do this, and there's not that many sites that can actually absorb nutrients, okay? So that's really important right off the bat when you think of supplementation. Now, the disadvantage of a pill, so we're going to talk about a pill, is that first of all, pills might not be completely dissolved before moving into the intestinal tract, okay? They can get caught up in the folds of the stomach. And then they can get dissolved in the stomach where there's not a lot of transport and there's not a lot of absorption. Because where does absorption of nutrients have to happen? In the small intestine, right outside. So what if a pill, sure, it goes out of the stomach, it starts dissolving, but it's not all absorbed, and it moves past the small intestine and the large intestine. The large intestine, now what happens to it? It's going to come out, right? It's going to keep going. It might dissolve, but it's not going to get absorbed because there's no transporters and there's no absorption sites. So it's kind of a real process of getting this vitamin, what's in the vitamin, not only into the small intestine, but that moved into the bloodstream where it can do its job. So there's a whole process that goes into that, okay? And a pill does not fully develop deliver in your bloodstream the vitamin it holds. Either the pill can be dumped into the intestinal tract, or the active ingredients can pass right through without fully absorbing. And just if you look at the picture, this was taken the day of the x-ray. Okay, it's in the ascending colon. Now it's got to move up to the transverse colon, and then it's got to come back down. So this is taken the day before the x-ray. Day of, day before, taken, where's this pill? Taken 2 days before. So that's had time to travel. You see that pill? Not absorbed, not absorbed, not absorbed.
Yeah, but I got a deal on it.
Yeah. Why don't you retake it?
Yeah, I'll take it back. You know what Lisa was saying, does anybody have animals in the room, dogs or anything like that? If you have to get your dog a vitamin, which sometimes you do, it costs much more than a typical human vitamin, because you couldn't give a dog what we take in our bodies that we buy from stores, because there's too much binders, fillers, and coatings in it.
Wow.
Isn't that interesting? When you start to put that veterinarian grade vitamin always costs more than your standard store vitamin.
Well, the same holds true for farm animals.
Yep.
They have to keep farm animals well, right? And it's very expensive to do so. They have to feed them good things, vitamins, different things like that. So that holds true with that, absolutely. And even in the sickness industry, in the hospitals, as much as we possibly could, we would want to give people either like an isotonic solution through their vein or an oral medication, because when they're compromised, oral was better than a pill, always a liquid. A liquid is what I meant, okay? So that was, even when I was a nurse, that was important. So, hence we have the isotonic vitamins. Some of I pieced this together today because I just really found out I was doing this today. So some of it's just kind of pieced together. But so now we have about 20 different isotonic products. Obviously, I'm not going to talk about them. I don't sell all of them. I don't use all of them. But they're definitely out there for you to do your research on and find out what might work best for you and the people that you know. Sense? That's not my thing, is it? Okay. So isotonic means.
Boyfriend.
Yeah. Someone's calling. They probably want to buy something from me. Isotonic means same as. Okay, so iso. In order for a fluid from inside the intestine to be transferred into the blood, the fluid must be as similar as possible to body fluid. So like your blood, your sweat, your tears, kind of the same pH. So think of our isotonic products as almost pre-digested. Your body doesn't have to do anything to change it, to move it into the small intestine, to absorb it in the bloodstream. Even if you were just to drink like a soda right now, like a Coke or something, can your body absorb that right outside of your stomach into the small intestine? No, it has to change it, doesn't it? Right, okay. And that fluid is called isotonic. So isotonic products clear the stomach at an optimal rate for absorption, and that is actually a very fast rate. Okay, so they want it goes fast, but it's control, because it allows your body's transport mechanisms to efficiently shuttle the vitamins into the bloodstream. Isotonics offers an alternative to pills, and surveys show that 48% of Americans have problems swallowing pills. Don't a lot of people complain of that? Yeah. This line of isotonic products was originally developed for younger children and elderly that had the most problems with swallowing pills. So that's important right there. There's something I was going to say about that. I can't remember. I'm sure it'll come. Okay. And the products are buffered in the stomach to prevent nutrients from hydrochloric acid damage. So you have that stomach acid, right? And we have a buffer mechanism in our product that protects against that. And the other thing that's really important is that it's not sitting in your stomach. You guys take these on an empty stomach, right? First thing in the morning, you take them on an empty stomach. They don't sit there. So they're not exposed to that hydrochloric acid for a very long time, and stomach acid like a pill would. And a pill starts to break down in there. Then you know how when you mix your vitamins in the morning and they foam up, they fizzle?
Effervescent.
Effervescence, right. Well, one of the things that effervescent does is it mixes the vitamins together. The other thing it does is it creates a reaction that reduces the thickness of the lining in the intestinal tract. So it makes it thinner so that it promotes absorption of the isotonics into the bloodstream faster. Okay? That's what that does. So a lot of times people say, I don't want that to bubble up like that. Yes, you do.
That's a natural blender, huh?
Right, that's what you do. And then other people say, I get gas. You don't get gas up there. You can get gas down below. Okay? That's already absorbed before you get gas. Now, a lot of you don't know that you can mix the isotonics together. Like last night I learned that people didn't, they were taking them all separately. I'm like, whoa, you don't have to do that. That could take a long time. But anyway, we're looking at isotonic versus pill, 5 minutes versus 40. So isotonic goes in your stomach, stomach recognizes it has nothing to do. Pyloric valve opens, empties the isotonic right into the small intestine. And this is a misprint. Jim Winkler, this should be 5 minutes and is absorbed in the bloodstream. Okay? Pill goes in 6. Yeah.
I didn't make that slide.
You're not going to feel sales. How am I supposed to sell this if it's...
Well, I don't know where you got this.
Right. Right. Oh, Dennis Franks.
Dennis Franks, executive
Let's
VP.
throw it under the bus. Yeah, right? So it goes in 1 minute, nothing happens. It's just starting to, the tablet is just starting to dissolve a little bit, 40 minutes, still dissolving, and now degrading because it's sitting in the stomach with the hydrochloric acid in there. And that transport mechanism for pills is a lot of times what? Food. You ever have a vitamin that says take with food? That's your transport mechanism. Okay?
Oh.
Yeah. So it's kind of interesting. So,
Yeah.
why aren't all MarketAmerica products made isotonics? Because we have a lot of things that aren't, right? TLS green tea coffee. This is a great product. I should always make. But they can't be because some of the ingredients have an odor. You wouldn't drink them. That you can't mask them either in an isotonic like herbs. Some ingredients are really oily. They wouldn't mix well, and you wouldn't want to drink them either, like our omegas. That would be awful. Some ingredients are made into pills. So that they go through the normal digestive processes, releasing their actives where they're like a timed release. Do you know what I mean? So they're made that way. And all of our products, none of them have chemicals, binders, fillings, coatings, or preservatives in them. And they all have kind of a vegetable coating over the top of them that is easily digested. Okay? So OPC3, our #1 supplement, since I started the company, probably, I don't know, Andrew, for as long as we've had the product, and it's our base product. OPC is not a vitamin, and it's not a mineral. It doesn't have any vitamins or minerals. It's a super antioxidant. It makes every single system in our body, every cell, work better. Okay? It helps your vitamins work better. It helps your minerals work better. So you got to take it as a base. You know, you're kind of building a house, you got to have a base, a foundation, and it has to be secure and solid. And that's where the OPC comes in. So you don't want to sell an isotonic product without giving them the base and then something else. And you also don't want to give them the whole basket all at once either. 1 or 2 products can affect people's health in a crazy good way if they haven't taken anything. And that's where we develop the kits because they're so important. The kits are packaged together, which really give, when you talk about the kit that I have right in front of you for optimal wellness, I would say 90% of people, that's going to take care of almost every problem. You know, and then you can dig more in depth for people that are really sick, for sure. So one of the things we want to combat is oxidative stress. We're aging. We're aging on the outside, we're aging on the inside. We're rusting. You know, when you cut open an apple and it starts to run, same thing with us. We're rusting. And we do that to metabolism. We can't do anything about metabolism because we have to live, right? But that creates free radicals. Breathing creates free radicals. Chemicals, stress, pollutants, radiation, any other toxin that we're exposed to starts creating these free radical damage. And when you don't do anything about it, you age poorly and your cells change. And when your cells change, and they change, and they change, it leads you to chronic progressive diseases, or sometimes acute diseases like cancer. or heart disease or things like that. So antioxidants, which is what OPC3 is, comes in and scavenges these free radicals, takes them out, all right? It helps maintain normal circulation, normal cells, normal cardiovascular or heart health, normal blood sugar levels, normal platelet activity, meaning it's not causing your blood to clot. We don't want our blood to clot. Clots cause strokes and different things like that, strokes and heart attacks. It demonstrates anti-inflammatory action, one of the most beneficial things that OPC does.
Question. What is the most amount of the caps have you seen a person take of the OPC3?
I will say the most amount I recommended was 6 caps a day in 2 divided doses, 3 in the morning and 3 in the afternoon.
I do 3 in every morning.
You do 3 every
3
morning?
is like
8 is the most I've ever
8's the
seen.
most you've ever
one
seen.
day.
In one day, most I've ever seen.
Okay.
Because I noticed that when I had some of the joint pain when I started working out, I was only taking 1 cap, which I had amazing results with the 1 cap. But then when I started taking more, I remember when we traveled, we didn't even come. Usually when I used to get off the plane,
Yes.
I would have a cold and take about 2 or 3 days to recover.
Right.
Now I don't even have that anymore.
You bring up a really good point. Okay, so if somebody's, okay, I'm over 50 years old, and I meet somebody that's 25. I'm over 50 every day at a minimum, even though I'm healthy. I'm going to take 2 caps of OPC3, no matter what the back of the label says. But if somebody's 25 and healthy, I might just start them out on 1. But then if you meet someone with a health challenge, like you were talking about, they're already a little bit sick or weakened or they've never been on a supplement, I'm going to start out with more rather than less. Because more is going to give them the bigger bang, it's going to get the product into their bloodstream, they're going to start to feel something quicker, and then I'm going to back down to where they get a good level still, but what's most cost effective. You know, the problem is with these health food stores is you go in and they try to oversell you or upsell you, and people don't need that. They really don't. They need a couple good quality things to improve their health. So I want to get back down to what's most cost effective. But I'll tell you, people err in giving too little to start out. This is excreted. It doesn't build up in your tissues. You can't take too much of it. It's a food-based supplement. There's nothing in here. It's organic, it's vegetable, it's gluten-free, it's vegetarian, it has no chemicals, no preservatives. This little cap has 9 servings of organic fruits and vegetables in it, okay? So you're just giving your body what it's lacking, basically.
And you were talking about pharmacists yesterday.
Yes.
And she said, as a pharmacist, what do they normally do with with medicines? They do a loading dose.
Correct.
And then they bring it down. It's no different with supplements. You're trying to load so that you can get it to affect the body and work, and then bring it down, like Lisa said, to be cost effective. But very similar. If you do 1 cap, you may never notice the difference. For someone who has a condition, they need more.
Right. And not every isotonic do we do a loading dose. I want to be really clear on that. OPC3, you definitely can do a loading dose. Vitamin B, because it's water soluble, you can do a loading dose. And in many cases, people need extra B vitamins. So those are 2 good ones that you can do. Almost everything else is dose specific, like multivitamin is 1 a day, calcium is 2 caps a day. Things like that, okay? And then you're going to learn through more product training. Yes.
Now, one of the challenges I have, I know breakfast is the most important food, but I'm doing, by the time I drink, it's about 30 ounces of water and capsule, basically. It's hard for me to eat. I can't eat until about 4 hours later, because I am full.
So you're taking 32 ounces
Yes.
of things in
Yeah,
there?
I'm taking the joint support and the 3 of that, I'm taking, and then 2 of the other, longevity, and the multivitamin. And I'm 55,
Yes.
but I enjoy, to me, it's like a breakfast drink. To me, I enjoy it, and then I go in and do an hour and a half to 2 hours then to my trainers back there and work out.
Yeah.
And I mean, I have a lot of energy. And I find it.
Sure, it can become a full-time job, and you are going to have to wait a little bit if you
Yeah.
take that much. I mean, typically most people don't take that much, but you are going to have to wait 5 to 20 minutes after taking supplements. Yeah, we take a big one. You are, like, you know. If you eat foods with plenty of fiber, foods containing protein at every single meal, eat foods containing omega-3 fats, yuck. If you only work or live outside, only breathe fresh, unpolluted air, drink only pure, clean water, sleep 8 hours or more at night, you exercise every single day, you live a stress-free life, and you're not exposed to any environmental toxins, you do not need a multivitamin. All right, so who needs a multivitamin? Everyone. Absolutely everyone. So you're going to run into people that say, I don't need that. I eat right. Oh yeah? Let me come over and see what you got in your cupboards. You know, things like that. So, factors that influence health and wellness, your health habits. Everybody has different health habits, you know. Your choices, your behaviors, genetics, family history. Think of your own family. Do strokes run in your family? How about heart disease? Any diabetes? Allergies? Cancers? Being a breast cancer survivor, only 18% of breast cancers are hereditary, but I have a daughter and I wouldn't take a chance with 18%. I'm going to be aware of her diet. She's a vegetarian. She's been taking these products since she was 1 year old, and she never misses them. She's a very good high school swimmer. She's been a varsity swimmer she's a junior all 3 years. Maybe that's why she's 5'10" and, you know, good vitamins. You know, things like that, but I'm not going to leave things to risk. I'm also going to limit her diet with sugars. I know certain things are triggers. What does sugar cause in the body? Inflammation. What does inflammation lead to? Changes in cells. What do changes in cells lead to? Cancers, heart disease, diabetes, all kinds of different things. So that's really a big thing, and obviously environment plays a huge part for multivitamins. Our foods are so enriched, they're so processed that we have to re-enrich them. We have to put things in them so people actually eat them, because otherwise they would taste horrible. Crops are raised in soils that are nutrient depleted. Plants are treated with pesticides. Animals aren't allowed to roam and graze and things like that, and they're given antibiotics. So all these things make a case for multivitamin supplementation. We're stressed, we don't sleep, we don't exercise, all these things. It really is, when you think about it, it all ties in together, doesn't it? And minerals, because we have a vitamin and mineral supplementation, minerals are required to activate enzyme reactions. The body's electrical transmitters are sending signals to every cell. Minerals do this. Minerals help our vitamins work better. So sometimes minerals, you know, are needed in certain vitamins, and they help protect proteins, carbs, lipids, and they regulate your water balance. That's really important for heart disease. So a good multivitamin, a good one, like we have, pharmaceutical grade, the label amounts are actually in the bottle. That's really important, because labels don't actually have to be accurate. Okay? You can have an aloe drink. Have you guys ever seen our aloe? And you can say pure aloe, and the 10% that's in there is pure. The other 90% is what? Okay? So you really have to, get what you pay for. Don't get a deal, okay? Remember that. Don't get a deal on your health supplements. Purity is really important. Rapid absorption is important because you want to get it where it's going to do the best work. Adequate levels of vitamins and minerals are important for optimal health. Okay? So our isotonic multivitamin is very comprehensive. We can come with or without iron. It has 22 minerals and vitamins, and they all exceed 100% of what we need. If you want to choose it with iron, so some people will say, well, why would I want to take it with iron? If you can have a diet that is not rich in iron, okay? If you experience heavy menstrual bleeding, suffer from internal bleeding like ulcers, I had someone mention ulcers or hemorrhoids, if you can't absorb iron well, because it is very difficult to absorb, or if you're diagnosed with anemia and you have chronic fatigue syndrome, things like that, okay, would be good. Benefits of a multivitamin basically does everything, okay? Improves the immune system, promotes conversion of food into energy, okay? What do you want your food? Do you want it to convert food into fat?
No.
Or do you want to burn off the food that you eat?
Burn it
off, right?
Yeah.
That's really important. Vitamins and minerals do that. Supports cardiovascular system, strong bones, skin health. Mental clarity, maintain normal blood pressure, healthy thyroid, all kinds of things like that. Again, normal metabolic functioning, growth, repair of tissue, all of these. I'm not even going to read them because you guys know it's been kind of basket, right? Did I mix them up?
No.
Yeah. Optimal wellness. Okay, B complex. What's the buzz all about with B's? All right. B complex are water soluble, so you're excreting them. So you have to take more. Okay, you don't get them from your food. You've got to get them from supplementation. So you've got to take more. Play a role as coenzymes in the metabolism of proteins, fat, and carbohydrates. You want to get rid of those things. Support a healthy and greater metabolism, maintain healthy skin, muscles, immune system, normal cell growth, energy, mental alertness. You know, when you're really tired, you don't have enough B vitamins. When you're sad, you don't have enough B vitamins. They're good for nerves, your nervous system, not enough B vitamins, headaches, not enough B vitamins, stress, not enough B vitamins. B's are almost like in every single thing. Really important, only 20% of the calcium adults receive from food sources is absorbed. So you gotta get 80% more somewhere else, all right? Our calcium has 5 different sources of calcium for maximum absorption. Does milk have calcium in it?
I hope so.
It does.
Okay.
Is it an absorbable form of calcium? No.
Wow.
So when they say milk has calcium, yes, it does. If they were to go, can you absorb it for good bone health? No, it does not. They stop at that part of it. Okay? Yes.
Does the calcium block the absorption of other vitamins though when you take it? Like a coating?
Our calcium? Or what? What do you mean?
My other nutritionist, she just told me to take my calcium separate from other vitamins because calcium is kind of like a coating or something.
You know, calcium's better absorbed on its own if you do take it separate. And that's why I mentioned if you want to take it at night, that's probably a good time, or take it in divided doses, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
And the only problem with ever taking anything separate is what?
You forget.
Forget. Because I remember the first time I came to a product training, I heard something like that. I said, well, I'm taking my calcium at night. It's a sleep aid. I'll take it separate after I missed 5 nights in a row. I said, you know what, better take it in the morning. So you got to find out what works, so you take it, okay?
Yeah, right. I mean, yeah, you gotta use your head. Like people say, well, I take my food right afterward. And you're still at least taking your vitamins, or you know, or I skipped a dose, I'm taking it at 3. You're still taking your vitamins, or I can only take it at night. You're still taking your isotonics vitamins. That is better than not doing it at all. Okay. So 5 forms of absorbable calcium, and then you've got these supportive minerals. This is really important. Magnesium, manganese, selenium, boron, potassium, and most important is a proper amount of vitamin D3 for absorption. Okay, that's really important. So people can say, I'm on a good calcium. Oh, does it have vitamin D? Is your calcium supplement in pill, liquid, or isotonic form, you might ask them. Because a lot of people already take calcium. Does your calcium supplement have supportive minerals that enhance its effectiveness? Does your calcium have vitamin D3 that allow the calcium to be absorbed better in the bones where it's really needed? Because this is a whole science behind absorbing calcium. In cost comparisons, you always want to communicate the cost of the products in cents per serving. All right? Our calcium product has all 5 forms of calcium, supportive minerals, and vitamin D to help calcium uptake. It's the highest absorbing isotonic, liquid isotonic, drinkable form, and it tastes good, and it's only about 30 cents a serving.
Wow.
Okay? This Daily Essentials kit, this is 90 doses in here. If you're taking 1 of each, how much is that per day? All 4. Yeah, about $1.50, $1.60 a day. If you take 1 cap right there. You double it up, $3 a day. That's still less than
Less than Popeyes.
Don't triple it. Right? Alright. Support. Skeletal contractions, heart muscles, cardiovascular health, blood sugars, ease PMS, that's a big one.
Oh, say that one again.
Yeah.
She laughs.
Right? Pharmaceuticity. What's the one thing we think of here in the richest country in the world, but we have one of the highest rates of what? Osteoporosis. People die from falling because they have brittle bones. And it is 100% preventable with the right forms of calcium. Yeah, it's crazy. You know, so why does it say it's a 90 serving bottle, but why does it say 45?
Twice a day.
Because you take it twice, right? Take it two. Do it at a time or no?
Yeah.
Really? Bromelain, I'll go quick. Bromelain is one of our newest products, and it's one of my favorites, okay? I really love it. It's got so much. It promotes your body's immune system. It's a huge anti-inflammatory and pain reliever, okay? So when somebody says inflammation, OPC is great, okay? But bromelain is even better. Bromelain's even better.
Can you take them together?
Take them together, yep. So absolutely, take them together. It's comes in that 90 bottle. And bromelain's an enzyme. And enzymes a lot of times get overlooked because people don't know a lot about enzymes and what they do, but they help the body function properly and they trigger the production of hormones or muscles, and they're needed. And without enzymes, food can't be broken down. Like, why do we have digestive enzymes? To break down our food and the gas in our food and things like that. So it's the same thing kind of with bromelain. Bromelain comes from pineapple and pineapple stems. That's where it comes from. That's the enzyme.
Okay, so what
And it's been used for centuries in Central and South America for inflammation. And in modern times, it's used for muscle support and for injury support when people get hurt.
So can I just,
Yeah.
I didn't know it comes from pineapple. I know someone who's allergic to pineapple. Do they not take bromelain?
I have to look at the, contraindications.
Yeah.
We don't have a bottle. I might have a bottle on here. Okay, let's see. It seems to cause the body to produce substances that fight pain and swelling or inflammation. Bromelain contains chemicals that interfere with the growth of tumor cells. This is a big one, okay? This is huge right here. I'm going to read it again. Bromelain contains chemicals that interfere with the growth of tumor cells and slows blood clotting. What it does is it actually goes in and takes out cells that are changing. It's called apoptosis. It identifies cells that are starting to change or already changing. So if you have cancer in your family, should you be on bromelain? Yes. If you have active cancer cells, can you be on bromelain? Yes, you can. Going through treatment and everything. So this is a big one that's really important for people. And this is a big statement too, it is possibly as effective as prescription painkillers for arthritis, osteoarthritis, pain in the knee, and knee function. That's how good it works on inflammation and pain. So one of the things that happens with our food industry is when we eat bad foods, and we do get omegas from our foods, a lot of them, but when we eat bad foods, it actually blocks the good omegas from being absorbed, like trans fats, like what's in popcorn, chips, alcohol, sugars, excessively high cholesterol things block the omegas from being absorbed, so you do have to supplement with them. It's really important, okay? And look at this. In children, when you gave them omega-3s, their IQ was increased by 3.5%. Triglyceride levels in adults was decreased by 30%. Both systolic and diastolic blood pressure was decreased with omegas. You reduce risk for stroke by as much as 50% by taking omega-3 fatty acids. Reduce risk of coronary disease by 40%. So they're really good. And a lot of people, these, they're easy to take, easier than other things that I have taken. And they have both 1.5 total grams in the EPA and 1.5 total grams in the DHA for a total of 3. Okay, which is really good. That's what you need. And the best part of our omegas that other people don't have is number one, we use small fish versus large. We don't want some old large fish out there. We want the new fresh. Right? That's important. That's important. We want cold water fish. Those are anchovies and sardines, little guys. All right? They're micro distilled for purity, and we do one thing that most people don't do. We inject our omegas with vitamin E. Now, can fish go rancid?
Yes.
Have you ever smelled a rancid fish? Yeah. So if you don't have something that's going to keep them rancid, they can go rancid on a shelf as well, omegas. So we actually inject our omegas with vitamin E to keep them from going bad. That's very important. Okay, you guys know this does not have caffeine in it. It's decaffeinated. So it's safe for pretty much everyone, all right? I love that. You take, the dose is 3. You take 2 capsules before one of your biggest meals and 1 capsule before your second biggest meal. So if your biggest meal is lunch and dinner, that's when you're taking those. If breakfast and lunch are your biggest, that's when you're taking them. But really, it helps the conversion of fat, and it actually helps you get rid of the fat thermogenically before it can be stored. So it's really increasing that thermogenesis or that heat in your body and burning it off. That's what we want. Okay, you don't know that it's doing it, but it's doing it, and you'll know after a few weeks when your pants fit looser and things like that. You'll know because fat takes up a lot of space, doesn't it? And muscle is very compact. So when the fat starts shrinking, then clothes start feeling different. Doesn't necessarily mean the scale's going to go down. Because what weighs more? Muscle. Muscle's dense. All right? So you might not see the scale go down. So how are you going to measure if this is working?
My jeans now.
Yeah, you're going to feel loose. Everything's going to feel looser. It's got to be taken regularly, though. Okay? Product says it's made with coffee. I'm sensitive to caffeine. Can I take it? Yes, it's decaffeinated. All right. Can I use other supplements with it? Yes, you can. It's made to be used with TLS Core and those products. Are there any contraindications? Typically not, but if you're concerned, you could ask your doctor. Pretty much everyone can take that product. All right. And healthy weight loss facilitates the use of stored fat as energy. So if you got fat now, let's start burning it. Okay, it's going to target that stored fat. Helps maintain normal blood sugar levels because when your blood sugar level dips low, what do you want? Sugar. Something fast, quick, easy. What do you really need though? Protein. Protein. You need protein. You don't need sugar when your blood sugar dips. You need protein because protein keeps you like this. Not like that, all right? And you guys all know about this.
Yeah.
My number one favorite product. This is one of the most easiest products to sell because there's nobody out there that doesn't live the stress-free lifestyle. And stress leads to everything. You saw it up there, stress, oxidative stress. Stress leads to heart disease. Stress leads to cancer. Stress leads to, headaches.
And a lot of my clients have transitioned over from smoking weed, which is very expensive, especially people who have really bad habits of smoking. And they've actually transitioned to Bliss now, and it's made me richer and it's saved them from going to jail.